Let's talk about succession rights. How can you inherit a rent-stabilized or rent-controlled apartment in New York City? First things first, it's important to know the difference between rent-controlled and rent-stabilized. Rent-controlled apartments are very rare. There's only about 16,000 units left in New York City, and these are apartments where there has been a continuous tenant living in the apartment since 1971. So most rent-controlled apartments are occupied by very elderly New Yorkers who are just sometimes paying a few $100s a month. When a rent-controlled tenant vacates their apartment, the apartment becomes rent-stabilized. And there are nearly 1 million rent-stabilized apartments in New York City. And you technically can inherit both types of apartments. You have to have been living in the apartment with the tenant for the previous 2 years to when they vacate. If you're over the age of 62 or you are disabled, you have to have been living there for at least 1 year to claim your succession rights. You do not need to be on the lease in order to claim these rights. So bottom line, the only way to get a rent-controlled apartment is to inherit it. But you can rent rent-stabilized apartments just normally on the market. You do not need to inherit a stabilized apartment. If you know anyone with a rent-controlled apartment, let us know in the comments. If you're apartment hunting and you want to find a rent-stabilized apartment, be sure to filter for those listings on OpenIgloo.com.